Big one between Chelsea and Liverpool there. Welcome you on the show. 360 Sports on Trust TV. Adeni Ajishafe. We run through the world of sports, a lot of activities, even though we know AFCON is still in the air. Really, a lot of Africans, I can't wait for the matches to begin tomorrow. But right now, we just let you have that particular clip there between Liverpool and Chelsea. Good one for the Red, the team that never walk alone. They were able to win that game. A young man is actually making a name of himself. Bradley, let's start with the first story. It has to do with Premier League. Premier League, Bradley shines and Liverpool beat Chelsea. They beat Chelsea in that game, and you just saw it, and they were able to do well in that particular encounter there. Good one for Liverpool for being able to do it. Well, right now, we're talking Liverpool versus Chelsea and also Premier League match that actually took place yesterday. And we have gentlemen that will be joining us, one from South Africa and the other one from Kaduna. Well, let's start from Nigeria. Let's talk about Tunji. Good to have you on the show.
Good morning.
And also Manoba Mchunu from Durban, South Africa. Good to have you, Manoba.
Good morning.
Okay, good one. So we just showcased now that particular match there between Liverpool and Chelsea. Let's start with that one. A young man, his name is Bradley. He really shined like a million star yesterday in that game. Let's start with that. That game, Liverpool versus Chelsea. Were you expecting that scoreline? Let's start with you, Tujo Eleke. That particular 4-1, was it the expected scoreline you were looking for in that game?
Well, to be fair, I wasn't really expecting that Chelsea would be losing by such a scandalous margin. Going by the antecedent of Chelsea in the last few games, in fact, from the beginning of the season, I could actually see, about the first two games that Chelsea played, you could actually see progressively that the performance was there. The results were not just coming for Chelsea, but the performances were there. Now, slowly the results started coming, and then you would have expected that they would go into this particular game with the same gusto with how they were playing the previous matches. But well, Mauricio Pochettino had his own fault there. A lot of tactical changes that he made there that made Liverpool overrun them. And when you're playing against Liverpool, just have to be pragmatic. You just have to do what you need to do to get a result. You can't play tactics when it comes to Jurgen Klopp and his team. So I was not expecting this scandalous result, but sometimes in football, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I can actually feel your pain there, TJ Leke. But that's football. At times we expect it. I mentioned Bradley, and I'm sure Chunu will tell us about this young man. A lot of Liverpool fans not actually expecting that he would do so well, but he shone like million stars in that game. Chunu from Durban, South Africa. Let's have you. That game between Liverpool and Chelsea. You know, the deal is a new kid on the block, really doing so well in that particular encounter.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show. And yesterday's games was on my side as well. Like, I wasn't expecting this gap, like 4-1. Even though yes, it was a tight game, and the man himself is doing a very, very good job. Looking at also the table, judging from the table, the Liverpool is sitting at 1 with about like 51 points, and Chelsea's there on sitting on number 10. You know, but you know, as my brother indicated as well, that football is football. You know, you can't be because I'm on the top of the log, I'm going to be winning all the time. You know, so anything happens in football. So yeah, it was a very, very a game that was played. The cap wasn't expecting. Maybe it was like a draw, something like that, or maybe 2-1, but 4-1 from Chelsea. You know, so yeah, it was one of those things in soccer.
Those things in soccer there for Liverpool, they did well in that particular game. They are not expecting that score line for Chelsea fans. Well, they continue to lick their wool. Let's look at the top 6 as the table is standing right now. When it comes to Premier League, it's a big one for Liverpool because right now they are really coasting home. Talking about the top 6 in the Premier League right now. Well, a good one for Liverpool for the fact that they are able to do this and they are topping that particular group there. You can't take anything away from them. They have 51 points from 22 matches, and they have a goal difference of 32. Manchester City are second on the law with 46 points. The same with Arsenal. Arsenal, they have actually 22. You have Man City, they have one game to play that will actually help them or propel them to get closer. Arsenal, you have Spurs, Sport. They were able to do well winning their game. Aston Villa, West Ham. Tuji, the way the table is standing now, a lot of fans are saying maybe Liverpool can't run away with this. It seems to be really coasting home. How do you see this table now?
Yeah, I mean that's just the fact about it. Unless something magical happens for against Liverpool, and let's not forget the fact that this week's announcement of Jurgen Klopp leaving is actually an extra motivation for the boys to continue to do well, so that they at least Jurgen Klopp can actually leave the club on a very very high. You were talking about Conor Bradley there. This is actually the second time I'm watching that boy. The first time I actually came across him was during when Arsenal faced Liverpool in the Premier League at Anfield. He was the one that was brought in, to match the pace with Gabriel Martinelli, and he did very very well. So I'm not surprised that he has done this well. But for Liverpool, you continue to give them, if you don't take your chances when you may get them, like Chelsea did last time, they were profligate in front of goal. And I mean, they will just continue to go. They'll just continue to go. If you give them that chance, they'll continue to go. And I'm just wondering if Darwin Nunes was not such a wasteful striker, I wonder where Liverpool would be at the moment.
I think to some extent Liverpool seems to be ready to coast home now. Would you agree with that, Manuel? By looking at the fact that Liverpool, against all odds, they've been able to turn things around, topping that group right now, Premier League. They seems to be ready to really run this battle, even though it's a marathon. Would you stay with Liverpool, Muchunu? Okay. We lost his audio there. Let's go back to talking about the matches we're talking about the Premier League. We're looking at the table there.
Oh, yes.
Well, if you are back with us,
yes, my brother, can you hear me?
Have you again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm having some network problems. Yeah. No, as I was saying, is that the Man City, as we know, that I agree with my brother. In terms of the Liverpool has been playing very good, absolutely, as well as the Man City as well, because the Liverpool managed to overtake the Man City. As we recall that the Man City was at the top of the log, which was number one, and then this time the Liverpool is at number one. So anything happens in soccer. So as I've indicated, I do agree with my brother that the performance-wise, it's very 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 acceptable.
Seriously, Liverpool seems to be ready to shine away with this. Although the battle is still on, they are going 38 games and it's still match day 22. I know Manchester City, they have a game, and from the way it is, maybe I should just push it to the two of you. Would you agree, you should talk first, that the way the race is going right now is edging closer and closer? Would you say that Liverpool, will you believe in them that they can run this through, or Manchester City can still overtake them?
Anything can happen. Everything can happen, actually. Liverpool have what it takes. For Liverpool, it's not about the personnel that they have, but it's about the mentality that Jurgen Klopp instills in his team. It's about that mentality. They are mentality monsters as far as England is concerned. The same thing with Pep Guardiola and his boys. You cannot say the same thing for Arsenal because that mentality is not yet there. You are still dealing with guys who are just trying to do their thing at the top. For as far as mentality is concerned, it's between Liverpool and Manchester City. But just like I said earlier on, the difference is that Jurgen Klopp is leaving, and his boys would want to ensure that they give their manager something to go home with and be happy with for the rest of his life.
Okay, will you go with that, Mchuno from Durban? Will you go with that? Join us at least. Let's see if we are going to stay with Liverpool. Just like Tugia said, Mchuno. Seems he's not hearing us. Let's go back to the story we're looking at. We've been talking concerning the Premier League, the results of the matches played yesterday. A lot of games we actually played. Well, from the way it is, Liverpool, they did well in that particular encounter. If you can have a big one for Liverpool, but it seems a lot of pundits are already tilting toward them because the players want to give their parting manager that particular parting gift there. Well, let's see more of that. But now let's talk about Spanish La Liga. Games were also played. Looking at the result of La Liga just yesterday over there. Barcelona picked Osasuna, courtesy of Roque Ferreira, who actually scored for them in the 63rd minute. Atletico Madrid 2-1 against Rayo Vallecano. Isian Vanjava, Memphis Depay scoring for them, and also you have Garcia getting one to pulling one back for Rayo Vallecano. Well, a game that involved Atletico Madrid expecting Depay to actually score, and he did. Tunji, you want to agree with me that it seems these days Barcelona are stingy with goals?
They are not playing that free-flowing football that we know Barcelona to play. That's the truth of the matter. They are only scraping through, and if you see, there's a shift in to the young players that are coming up from the La Masia right now. So it's really not going to gel for Barcelona at the moment. They are just trying to scrape through to get as many results as possible, positive results, by the way, at least so that they can stay in that Champions League position. Knowing fully well that Xavi is also leaving at the end of the season, just as he has announced. So for them, it's about hanging on to their life. Even not just about them trying to win the La Liga this season. It's for them to just hang on, stay in position, keep pace with Girona as well as Real Madrid, at least to stay in that Champions League position come the end of the season.
Well, a big one there talking about La Liga. Well, for Xavi right now, a lot of fans, Barcelona fans, are looking at what's going to happen because news came out that he could be leaving at the end of the season. Well, just the way Liverpool will be missing the young club who has been with them for a while. Right now, we quickly, okay, I think we have Nkunu back. Are you there now? Are you with us now?
Hello. I'm having some network problems this side. I don't know what's up. Can you hear me?
Maybe Moroccans are plotting.
Can you hear me?
Okay, well, right now, let's quickly look at NBA results, NBA logo and NBA result there. Looking at those games that I played earlier today in the NBA, you just look at those teams for the way they perform, particularly the likes of Milwaukee and all of them that play in the NBA. Let's have it, please. Talking about the NBA result there. While we're waiting for the NBA result, Chicago Bulls who actually won against Charlotte Hornets, 170 to 110. Detroit Pistons, 121 to 128. Cleveland Cavaliers winning that game. Washington Wizards scored 109. LA Clippers clipping their wings. They scored 125. Sacramento Kings, they lost against Miami Heat, who actually were able to win that game, 115. Denver Nuggets, 100. Oklahoma City Thunder scored 105. New Orleans Pelicans, they won by it was at least a good one for them. They won ahead of Houston Rockets, 110 to 99. While Minnesota Timberwolves did well, like Bambusley, they did well against Dallas Mavericks, 121 against 87. A poor performance from Dallas Mavericks against Minnesota Timberwolves. Orlando Magic, their Magic worked out against San Antonio Spurs. They won 108, scoring ahead of 98. That's the scored. Phoenix Suns 136, extra 16 points ahead of Brooklyn Nets, who scored 120, and Portland Trail Blazers actually got 119, 3 points ahead of Milwaukee Bucks. They fought hard with their star man at they lost out by 3 points there. Tunji, you look at NBA, and there's always a team from the Eastern Conference talking about Milwaukee Bucks, always trying to stand out, but this time right, it didn't work out for them. Are you there?
I'm having sound issues. I can't hear you clearly.
Okay, we're talking about the NBA.
Yes.
Okay, while you are still talking about NBA, maybe let's come back to the studio. Let's talk about the AFCON. Well, we're still talking about the quarterfinal that will be coming up starting from tomorrow. Well, we've seen teams rolling themselves to the quarterfinals. But before then, let's just look at briefly South Africa. By the time we come back, we'll talk about AFCON.
They're in the quarterfinals of the African.
Big one there, looking at Morocco, the Atlas Lion ousted in this competition. That takes us to AFCON stories now. Well, a big one coming from South Africa, Bafana. If I'm to have you, Mukunu, if you're still there, let's talk about this. We focus on AFCON 2023 group stage review, where your team, Bafana, they did well against all odds. They shocked Morocco, who really are number one in Africa. But right now, they are nowhere to be found because your team actually dislodged them. How is the entire South Africa still up till now? I can imagine the mood over there in South Africa. Give us overview concerning that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Up until now, we are still surprised because of the performance. We started the AFCON with not a good start, losing the first game with Mali. So this turnaround point it came as a surprise to us. Beating Morocco, as we know that Morocco is one of the second, but the good team when it comes to like playing. But we're able to not just 1-0, but like 2-0. Like we're all surprised. We're still surprised now. So to us, it gives us a confidence in terms of the coming game that we're going to play against Cape Verde, if I'm not mistaken, this coming Saturday. And yeah, with that being said, we already have that confidence. But anything can happen. But obviously, a positive thoughts as always. Yeah.
Well, seriously, looking at the fact that Morocco playing against South Africa, a lot of people expected them to win, but that's football. We're actually focusing on group stage review, as AFCON 2023 group stage review there, which we've been talking about with Mukunu. Now, let's look at among the teams that played, which of the match upset you, actually the shocking one, the one that upset you the most when you look at that particular round of 16. You look at Namibia defeated Tunisia 1-0, Cape Verde 2-1 against Ghana, Mauritania 1-0 against Algeria, Equatorial Guinea 4-0, the walloped host Cote d'Ivoire, and your team, South Africa, against Morocco. I'm sure you want to pitch the tent with your team as the one that actually upset you the most, because even though you were not expecting that, you were unsettled when you watched that particular game. Let's have you, Mukunu.
Looking at the past game results, as we've indicated, the Cote d'Ivoire 4-0 by Guinea. That's like, yeah, and also the Ghana as well being beaten. Yeah, those two teams, like, yeah, that's like, to me, it's it's a sort of like a shock because like previous games, like they played it, yes, 4-0 for Cote d'Ivoire, and then Cape Verde 2-1. So since we're gonna play with Cape Verde, because Ghana is not an easy team to play with, but they were able to be beaten by 2-1. So it's a bit tense with us. Looking at the win that they played, and also looking at Cote d'Ivoire as well. So that's a 4-0. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, so those two teams are the one that's a bit of a shock.
Like a shock to you there. Now, Tuji, looking at this particular one, which one of them you were really not expecting that to happen? Let's have your own view concerning that.
Yeah, a lot of the results in fact, all of the results that have been posted here are not results that I ever expected to happen. The biggest one for me has to be Equatorial Guinea defeating Cote d'Ivoire, and the second one for me was South Africa, beating Morocco. These are teams that just decided to press the self-destruct button. All the teams that lost here, they pressed the self-destruct button themselves. Very, very shocking. These are the results that define what the 2023 AFCON is all about, and I'm really happy that I dedicated so much time, to watch 98% of the game. So those two games for me, Equatorial Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire 4-0, Morocco losing to South Africa 2-0, is something that has really happened. That I must really commend South Africa for how they approached that game against Morocco. The guys really impressed me, I must say, from the number 14 jersey guy, that's the defender, I can't remember his name, then Mokoena, who scored the free kick, to Percy Tau, really dangerous player, and also the big striker, Evidence Magopa. I really like that guy. If not for anything, his first name, Evidence, is really an evidence that you can play as a team and you can win.
Well, big one there. Looking at AFCON, reviewing that particular one, at least I expect Mukunu to be blushing there for the fact that he mentioned South Africa to have done the great job. Anyway, let's cross over to where we talk about the Kings, or rather the Lions, the exit of the Lions in this competition. AFCON 2023, the exit of the Lions, that's what we're looking at right now. Atlas Lions of Morocco exited. You have Teranga Lions of Senegal. What happened to the Lions this time around? Okay, and while we're looking at that, AFCON 2023, season of killing the Lions. Almost 4 Lions were key in this competition. Tuji, you look at Teranga Lions, they lost out. You look at Cape Verde killed the Mauritanian Lions. Nigeria killed the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. Elephant of Cote d'Ivoire slaughtered the Senegal Lions. Bafana of South Africa killed the Atlas Lions of Morocco. What would you say happened to the Lions, Tuji?
Well, I mean, at some point, lions cannot have it all the time. Even in the jungle, there are times when buffaloes, there are times that hippopotamuses, they always have their own pound of flesh against the lions. But it's really, really surprising how things really happened. For Cameroon, it was really expected that Nigeria would dump them out. The big one was Senegal. The way they approached that game, they wanted to win, but Cote d'Ivoire actually showed a national resolve, and then the crowd were also behind them. So that played against Senegal also. I've already talked about South Africa. Morocco pressed the self-destruct button. Hakimi losing that penalty, them losing, throwing away all those goal scoring chances that they had. So the Lions cannot have it all the time. And that's like we said in football, things can always change. Cannot predict anything in football. So that's it.
Okay, a big one there. We've been looking at AFCON. Well, before we go, maybe let's just look at a particular scenario that has to do with our goalkeeper. Nwabali tweeted yesterday, on his X handle concerning him getting ready for the AFCON. But that didn't go well with Nigerians in that particular encounter. If you can have that particular X. Well, as we're talking about that, for the South African, okay, that's it. We have it in Nwabali, Stanley Bobo. Thanks to everyone that checked up and showed this quiet in one way or the other at this radio's time. I appreciate. We are offering anything is supposed to happen. While saying that, somebody actually replied, say, guy, leave this English. Are you fit now or not? Are you playing on Friday, or do we need to spend extra time in church praying? What's a way to answer? And the other one say, they speak in parables. You go play against Angola, B, you no go play. Nigerians can't wait to see Nwabali play. Tujo Eleke, this is a big one.
I mean, that's the long and short of it. You've not had such a calm goalkeeper, in the last few years. The last time we had such a calm goalkeeper after Vincent Enyama was Carl Ikeme, who unfortunately cancer cut short his career at that point. So after then, we've not really had a very calm goalkeeper. And Nwabali just shot out of the blue. He's become a national treasure right now. I believe he must have caught the clip of some journalists speaking pidgin and even asking, even begging, I beg, try play, those kind of things. It shows you how Nigerians want to win. And finally, after having a goalkeeper that can actually be calm, very confident on the ball and all of that, we're looking at it that maybe the Uzoho days are past, but let's wait to see. As things stand, as we are speaking, some of our colleagues who are covering the Super Eagles camp in Ivory Coast are saying that, he's available to play. But after this AFCON, I think one thing that we should do.
And also, our South African brother, that's Nobam Chunu. So sorry, it seems technical hitch is actually stopping you from hearing us, or we hearing from you. Thank you so much for joining us from Durban, South Africa. Tunji, thanks so much for joining us. Well, we always say sport is business and fitness. I'm Adeni.